So this is something I am really struggling with right now, and I need help. And I'm making this because I'm basically crying out for help here because I have started to hate women again. And I used to basically hate women in during the pandemic, and I'm starting to do that again for basically the same reason. And I know this is an uncomfortable topic because I know there are women that are watching my videos. And the thing is, I don't want to hate women. I need help with how I can stop hating women because I would like to start a family with a woman one day. And I don't want to hate someone that I'm gonna basically build a future with because I don't think that's gonna be like a healthy relationship. And so this is something I really need help with. And so in order to understand why I hate women, like why I started to hate women again, like you need some backstory. So when I was in high school, I created this like character that I convinced myself that I was, and I started acting like this character. And this was a character that I was like really proud of creating within myself. This is a character that I really loved. Basically, this character was kind of like a tough cartoon character. Like imagine a typical like ultra masculine character in like a cartoon or a TV show. Like imagine this like ultra tough anime character, like either a superhero or a supervillain. That was kind of the character that I had created within myself, and I really loved this character. And it feels like the boys also loved this character. Boys seemed to praise me. They called me God. They called me king. They gave me like all those compliments. And they thought I was cool. But girls barely gave me any attention. And it seemed like girls were the only ones that failed to appreciate like how amazing this character was that I had created within myself. And I struggled with attracting the opposite gender. And I tried to do whatever I could in order to attract the opposite gender, except for like changing this character. Because that was like a non-negotiable thing within myself. Like I did not want to change who I was. So I tried to change other things like external appearance. I tried to go to the gym. I tried to wear good clothes and all that. But I still did not really get that much attention. But then this year, I made like an experiment where I would kind of change who I was and see what would happen. I started smiling more. I always thought that like smiling was too feminine and that I was too masculine. I was too alpha to smile. And I started making jokes and all that. I basically started being more like this cute boy rather than alpha. And girls all of a sudden started giving me more attention. But I was feeling like I was just putting on a mask. And it feels like girls only liked me once I changed who I was. Once I started smiling, once I started making jokes, once I stopped taking myself seriously around them. And that really reinforced my belief the belief that I was so dreading, that women did not appreciate the amazing character that I had created. People just keep saying, oh, just be yourself, there's someone out there that will like you for who you are. But I realized that that's not true. And people also say, you have to love yourself first and then others will love you. That neither works. This was my big problem. I loved who I was. And men loved me for who I was. They called me king, god, and all that. But apparently women were the only ones that did not love who I was. And I really wanted to believe that women are not a monolith and that women all have their individual preferences. But apparently that's not true. I really saw that not a single woman seemed to appreciate me before, but once I started putting on this mask, a lot of women all of a sudden started appreciating me. And so I realized, like, you cannot be yourself if you want to attract women. You have to smile. You have to make jokes. You have to be a fun person around them. You have to not take yourself seriously. You have to flirt. You have to do this thing called negging, whatever it is. Something that like this YouTuber YBC2 Cold is always talking about. You have to do those things. You cannot be like yourself. You cannot do whatever you want. You must do those things. And then there are other things that you are not allowed to do. You are not allowed to obsess over your looks. You are not allowed to chase girls. You are not allowed to make getting a girlfriend your primary goal as a man. You are not allowed to feel proud when you get attention from girls. You are not allowed to call yourself an alpha male unironically, because apparently all women think it's cringe. And so like, you're not allowed to do whatever you want. You're not allowed to be yourself. You have to like conform and be someone that I always thought myself was cringe. You kind of have to be like this cutout. You have to like conform. You have to conform. You have to be this like stereotypical adult. You cannot be unique in your own way. You have to do all those specific things. And that is something that made me hate women. Like, women did not appreciate me for the character that I so much was. And women instead want me to do some very specific things. And so if the characters that I had created within myself was really so bad, then why did I love this character so much? And why do I still love this character so much? Like, am I stupid? And why do men love this character as well? Why did men like always shower me with compliments and think I was cool? But for some reason women were some alien creatures that did not have the capacity to understand how amazing this character was. To understand how amazing I was. And they only appreciated me once I basically changed who I was. And I don't want to change who I am. Because when I change who I am, it makes me feel very bitter and very resentful deep down. Like, yeah, I might attract a woman in the future and I might have really amazing sex and a really amazing love life and a really amazing relationship, and we will have a lot of children. But I will feel so resentful deep down. Like, she only loves me because I had to change who I was. That she does not appreciate the things that I appreciate within myself. And it's gonna make me hate this woman. And I don't think that's gonna be a healthy relationship, like I said. So this is something I really need help with. And some of my current coping mechanisms that I try to implement at the moment is, for example, telling myself that the reason why I previously struggled to get attention from women was not because women failed to understand how amazing my personality was, but rather because I had horrible appearance back then. I was a neckbeard who was out of shape, but now I started working more on my appearance. And this is, I think, one of the main reasons why I obsess so much over looking good. Like, a lot of people say that looks don't matter that much and you should not obsess over looks. Like, you should obsess more over confidence, personality and stuff like that. But the reason why I obsess so much over looks, because that is something that I am willing to change. Like, I don't really want to stop being this amazing character, because this is something I love within myself. And I want to be happy. Like being this character, it makes me happy, and it made me happy when I was this in high school. And I wish women could understand this, but apparently they don't. They just mock and ridicule like this character. But so now I am basically trying to look smacks and look as good as possible. Because, like, for example, Andrew Tate, like, he basically is very similar, if not the same, as this character that I so much love being. This is one of the things that made me, how do I say, I'm bad in English, one of the things that made me inspired by Andrew Tate. Like, he was acting the way I was. He was this like tough bad boy alpha male, and he was still able to attract women. And I think that that is because he had really good physical appearance, and that is why I obsess so much over physical appearance and looks maxing, because that is something I am willing to change within myself. But when it comes to like my personality, my behavior, I feel I just don't want to change, because I have already changed. Like this year I started smiling more, I started making more jokes, and like I said, women have started to give me more attention. But I just started feeling so bitter and resentful deep down. I've started to hate women again, because I feel like women only give me attention because I changed. I feel like women do not appreciate my true self. Like they do not appreciate, or I don't know if this is my true self, like this like alpha male character, but this is a character that makes me happy. This is like a version of me that I love being. I'm not saying this is the authentic version of me, but it is a version of me that I love being. And I feel like women do not like me for the person that I love being. And that is something that makes me so like angry, so heartbroken, and so sad. And also, I might sound immature, which is why I have realized that like one of my weaknesses or strengths, depending on how you want to view it, is that I have empathy. If a woman tells me that she straight up feels uncomfortable and she straight up feels bad by certain things I do, then I am willing to change, because I care about other people. Like deep down, I want them to feel good. But if she just tells me that the things I do are wrong, that they are bad, that they are cringe, then I'm not willing to change. Because I'm just gonna be like, that's your opinion. I want to be cringe because it makes me happy. I want to be an alpha male. I want to call myself an alpha male unironically. I want to make sex jokes. I want to be a little bit immature and a little bit insecure sometimes, because this is like part of my characters, that part of the characters that I want to be, that makes me happy. And I just don't want to sacrifice my own happiness just to get some woman to like me. And so I need help with this, because I think the easy solution here is to not have women at all, not attract women at all, and be like this MG Tao, men gone their own way, and stay single for the rest of my life by choice. But like I said, I want to start a family with a woman one day, so I feel like I will have to conform eventually. But I need help with how I can do that without hating women in the process. Because another thing was that, like, when I was in high school, I basically promised myself that I want to be this, like, cool, unique, original character. I don't want to be this, like, typical adult. I don't want to be feminine. I don't want to, like, smile and make jokes because that's feminine. Like, I want to be the character that I love being. And now I feel like I have to basically break my own promise. And I don't want to break my own promise, because that would be like it would feel very cruel to like my younger self. But it really feels like women do not appreciate my younger self. And maybe my younger self was a horrible person, but if my younger self was such a horrible person, then why did I love and why do I still love my younger self so much? Like, am I stupid for loving this quote unquote horrible person? Or what is like the logical explanation here? And this is something that just does not make any sense to me. And that is like why I am so hateful and why I am so angry right now and why I desperately need help with this. Because yeah, I want to start a family with a woman, but I also don't want to change who I am. Or at the very least, I want to be able to change who I am without having to hate women in the process, without having to hate women because they only love me because I changed. Like, I hope this can make sense. And all help appreciated. Thank you.